Oh, that's it.
We're on camera.
I know I say this every podcast, but I'm going to replace this song, guys.
Make a banger with a lot of bass. I want something bassy.
I mean, I've been really...
I want something that's going to make me want to jump on the table and twerk.
Ooh, or how about some old school techno?
Old school techno.
What is going to make you get up on the table and twerk, Mickey?
Yeah, I don't believe in Mickey twerking. Hey, guys, it's the Talking Normies podcast, and here's one thing I've been saying for a long time. I'm going to replace our intro song. I've been really deep into my little lo-fi phase, but I guess for you guys, I'll give you some bangers.
Leave in the chat what kind of genre of intro that you'd like Chris to make.
Yep, tell me what kind of genre you want me to make.
And maybe drop some samples in this over
For your Music Tuesdays, that could be like a really good challenge. Like at the beginning of the stream, you get a consensus of what kind of song they want you to make, and then you try to make them.
Yeah, what if someone says like fucking prog rock?
Well,
What's prog rock?
Hey, you know, that's a challenge.
I'm down for some prog rock.
Okay, I'm only good enough at one instrument to play prog rock, and it's not the main one. So.
I feel like I've seen you play several instruments within.
I feel like I've seen you play.
I will say this, and I'll bring this video to work tomorrow. I spent like 2 hours last Saturday working on like a January song, and it was such ass. And I just kept working on it. Like it was terrible to begin with, but I kept being like, and if I just spend more time, it'll get better. And it's just like, imagine wasting like 2 hours to cook like a turd.
But you learned a lot, right? You gotta have.
I learned that I should practice. That's all I learned. Anyway, hey y'all. Talking Normies podcast, we're absolutely bizac. It's a whole brand new year, 2023. There's going to be some changes around this bitch. So if you got questions, we got answers. But for right now, we're going to get into what we always get into to start the podcast off. Weekend/holidays catch up. It's been 1 week since I looked at you. I'm also convinced to say the word nigga in that song. What like, what you say?
Damn.
Go back and listen to it. No, but yeah. So yeah, what have you guys been up to? What did y'all do over the break? Let's start with Pat because it's sad.
What the fuck? This motherfucker just said because it's sad. You didn't even hear what I got to say.
Last I heard, you said I had 2 weeks off and I stayed at home and did nothing.
Hold on.
But you didn't want to. That was the problem.
I technically had a week and a half off, but 2 weeks, yeah, I'll give you that. But anyways, I did nothing. I stayed home. I had family come over. Bo and Nucky were in town.
Is that what you wanted to do?
I actually low-key wanted to go and travel. My plans when I took this vacation, when I put my PTOs in, I was like, I want to travel. I wanted to go somewhere and do it. But then my PTOs came around. Nothing got planned.
Wasn't it up to you to plan this?
Yes, sir. But like the thing is, I have ADHD and
ADHD.
Yeah.
High definition.
This man is 8K all day.
I just suck at planning.
Okay.
Can I give you a recommendation?
Yeah.
Next time, get in your car, pack some stuff, pick a direction.
I can't do that either.
And drive.
Why not?
Because I'm a plan. Like it sucks. I'm not
because you bring too much bullshit. I've seen you travel. I've seen how many pairs of shoes you bring for a 2-day weekend. That's on you. You gotta.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a staycation, you know.
No,
if you want one, there's nothing wrong with it.
Like honestly, the staycation was not bad because I got to do some things around the house that I've been slacking on, like actually like reorganizing my closet,
there you go,
stuff like that. And then also just I got a chance to hang out with Bo and Ucky. First off, Bo, I always knew Ucky was a good cook, and Bo was they're good cooks. But man, this Christmas, bro, they
cook?
They went out, bro. Okay,
describe it slowly.
Yes, I will. So Ucky made this chicken tikka masala. Now I am an Indian. I have plenty of chicken tikka masalas.
I thought you was African.
But that too. But, so
talk about it.
I like chicken tikka masala, but over time I stopped liking it because it always tastes the same. Like the sauce tastes the same from every single restaurant, and it's just like very bland. Ucky, usually when my parents make food, they take shortcuts. They get pre-made stuff and then they cook, right? Ucky made every fucking thing from scratch. And that chicken masala, first off, like it's not like if you make it from scratch, the color's totally different. It's not your like orange, it's totally different. Bro, I smashed the whole that was really good. And then she Bro, she made the Trace Leche
Leches?
cake, and again from scratch.
Oh man,
Bro, I never knew that you make whipped cream. She made whipped cream at home, not bought it.
Yeah.
You didn't know how people make whipped cream?
No.
Oh, bro, come
She
on.
went
I'm gonna blow
egg
your
whites.
mind.
And like she was just like, I'm like, and then I had that, bro. I had that. I don't like Trace Leche that much, and I had it, and I finished the whole fucking cake, bro. It was, bro. My God,
You ain't been eating homemade shit,
dinner.
huh?
You ain't been eating like homemade everything kind of thing. Like you haven't had all this stuff homemade before.
No, because like I said, my parents they will cook, but like they'll take shortcuts in the cooking. Like they'll buy like cake mix, or bake it. Like it's never like straight scratch.
Yeah.
You know, like when she cooks from straight scratch, and like
Dang.
it was so good. And then my brother,
That's how she got your brother.
And then my brother, my brother and her made some kebabs, and I'm talking about bro. Like I love some kebabs, and we went over here, and like lamb and beef kebabs. She ground like we had ground lamb and ground lamb. She put it together, bro. So bro.
I'm picturing it. My mouth
And
is
again,
watering.
how she made these kebabs now? She made these kebabs in the air fryer.
Ooh, nice, all right.
And
had a
bro,
nice little crisp on
bro,
it?
yes. I did that. And then when you cut it, it's
man.
nice and juicy and stuff. Oh my God.
Yes.
Bro,
That's a
I
win.
usually, when my parents, like when Bo and Nucky leave, my parents, like, all Indian parents will just give them food. Like, whatever food they made over the house and container them and just take them out with you.
Right.
I told my mom, they ain't taking, no, leave the chicken tikka masala and leave the kebabs. Don't take that shit.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Damn.
But-
Damn. Some crispy
yeah.
kebabs, dude.
Bro,
That
she-
seems like it's worth it.
Yes,
Right.
she can cook.
Dang.
She can fuck. Honestly, she needs to start her own restaurant. Like Bo and Nucky both need to start. Like they both can like throw down.
Ooh,
in the
what would they
kitchen.
call it?
Damn.
Huh?
What would they call their restaurant?
I don't know.
Bucky's. I was thinking of Ucky's Place. Oh,
That'd be tight.
Ucky's
Yeah.
place.
or the Bow House.
No, but then Ucky got to be in there too. Cause
Nah, man, you have the most
Buc-ee's.
recognizable last name. Just call it Patel House.
No.
Everybody in that city will be like, "That's yep."
Change
gotta-
everything.
That's
Gotta
clearly
go
fire
there.
ass Indian food.
Call it Patel's Patties, and the only thing you guys serve are patties. Everything's a patty.
But the thing is, like, she does not just cook Indian food. She cooks all different type of.
I mean, Trace Leche in India.
Yeah, but she also made some for my mom. So she doesn't eat meat, and she'll make some like Chinese food for her, bro.
Damn.
Like scratch noodles, man.
And not
yeah.
following a recipe, she just knew how to
Well,
do it.
she watched I think they watch a lot of cooking shows and
Yeah.
cook food. I think it's a Food Network. That's their ESPN for me. Like
Nice.
that's what's always on for them.
Hey man, chopped is my shit.
So-
Chops is amazing.
They know how to throw down, and I was so proud of her, bro. I was like, damn,
so
man.
did you learn any of the recipes? Or
Nah,
did
bro,
you get
because
any
my
tips?
fat ass was just eating and watching the games. That is that. My role at the house is when my brother and Ucky are in the kitchen and my mom's in the kitchen. My fat ass stays on the couch, watch the game, and eat, and just clean around, like pick up things around that kitchen, help
You
them out a little
gotta
bit.
get
All right,
the
I got
dogs
plans.
too.
Plans for this year. 1, Pat needs a cooking class. Pat needs to go
for
to an
sure.
art show or an art museum, and Pat needs to plan his own vacation. We get you those 3 things, you'd be Gucci to go, bro.
It's gonna be amazing.
Okay,
Next
Pat,
vacation, you're gonna be like, I spent this whole time making cakes and looking at art.
Okay, here we go. Pat plans a vacation to a museum outside of the state where he will cook food there.
Beautiful.
We'll just knock it out in one go.
One whole video. Spidey, what'd you end up doing over the holidays?
Man, holidays. We went down to Atlanta.
ATL?
Yeah,
Did you do any
ATL
fun
it
Atlanta
was.
shit?
You know what? Not really. We just kind of chilled with her grandma, who is Jamaican, so she made just
Nice.
a
Patties?
bunch of fire at Jamaican food. No Jamaican patties, actually. We had curry goat, curry chicken.
Nice.
There was what was it, lamb?
What neighborhood were you guys in?
Ham? I don't remember. I forget where her grandma lives. I just know. You know what? I think I know how to get there off the top of my head too. I just forget exactly what. But like everyone driving in Atlanta, if you're listening,
Fuck you.
fucking stop.
I'm right there. I was in Ubers in Atlanta, and I was like, I don't like this.
Dog, like, what the fuck? Came back for New Year's. We just kind of went over to our buddy's house. We just chilled. Them bastards were watching the game, so we kind of might have missed the ball drop, but fucking whatever for that. It was still a good time, hanging out with people, setting New Year's resolutions,
Nice.
talking about the future and this, that, and the other. So, we also did make noodles from scratch too. Like me and Bria,
Okay.
Bria taught me how to make noodles and to break bread. No, all by hand. Yeah,
All by
we,
hand?
We didn't have all the good stuff for it either. That is a dirty job.
I will tell you what,
thick-ass
fresh
noodles.
noodles hit differently.
Yeah.
Because the texture's just different than other. I don't know how to explain it.
And you can make it like
Pretty easy.
yeah, better or worse for your way. Like it is pretty easy.
That's when I figured out how to make my own dough, it started fucking me up. Yeah. Like if I want like I made some little pizza puffs and like I went to go buy pizza crust and they didn't have any, so like I made my own pizza dough like 2 days in a row.
Tell us about that one, the one that you showed on stream.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
All right, so I guess here's my weekend. Here's my catch up. That first day of our break was a Friday, and we did a big long stream where we played a bunch of games, some with the fans and some with just us. And I wanted to make this pizza puff recipe, but I had made one the day before, and it was kind of small, and I had a hard time like getting all the filling inside of the dough, and the balls were about this big. So I was like, okay, I'll just double the recipe. And I doubled the yeast, and I probably shouldn't have done that.
Ooh, no.
So I put this, like, mind you, it's like I put these 4 like big dough balls inside of this like pie pan, and it like it popped up off of the top of it. It essentially made like one giant pizza muffin, and I was breaking off corners, and like it had mozzarella, turkey pepperoni, fresh tomatoes, and basil in it. So it's just like a margarita pizza, but like all aside. But the thing is that it had like 4 inches of dough to get to it.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Pizza muffin. That would actually be incredible.
Pretty much what I made.
Like if you cut it in half and it's like hollow and it's stuffed with like cheese.
I'm
too.
down with
I
that.
love that way more than an actual muffin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yo, we gotta try making a
We're
pizza
about
muffin.
to fuck some shit up.
on my cooking journey over this break, Marquetta wanted a turkey for Christmas, so
Nice.
I made her a turkey. It was a smaller one. I didn't do my own custom gravy, but I did do the herb butter, and that was good. And then she got me. She fucked me up. She tricked me here. All right. This is like, back in the 50s when husbands would get their wives vacuums for Christmas. Mm-hmm. So she got me these 2 Star Wars waffle makers, and one of them's Darth Vader, and the other one's the Death Star. And so me being all excited and shit, I whip up my own fresh waffle batter from scratch, and I make a whole bunch of waffles. About halfway through, I was like, that's right. Marquetta loves waffles. Hold on. She likes waffles more than me. She tricked me. And I'm making her fresh made waffles for like 3 mornings in a row because I was really excited. Diabolical. And then I guess this is on the cooking journey, so I didn't have actual fun things. But the last thing is I got a crock pot. I got a Star Wars based crock pot too for Christmas. And so I got a slow cooker cookbook, and I cooked this meal yesterday that was like Thai basil chicken. And for all the ingredients it had in it, and for us following the instructions perfectly, it was the blandest food I've ever made in my entire life, and I hated it. Still have a bunch of it left. It just tastes like mush. I don't know. Anyway, it's crazy that I was like, oh, this thing's got 100 ingredients in it. It's going to be delicious. And I was like, how is this bland? How is this? It feels like it's missing the mark. And I think it truly needs MSG to pull it all together. But
I was about to say, I got some MSG.
honestly, if I had some MSG next time. So other than that, we went skiing with Spencer and Amanda. Spencer's our editor and the guy who runs our streams. We went skiing with them. That was super fun. I did way better this time skiing than I did previously. I actually want to go back. I'm sad that the
How do you
weather's
go?
like
Because I want to ski.
Yeah, I always
Yeah, perfect.
forget that's
you
an option in the
tore
Midwest.
your MCL. You probably
Yeah,
should
you
not go
don't.
skiing.
Fuck,
Sir. I'm just going to tell you off tops.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Man, I
that's
can't do
so
no
bad.
fun thing.
You can go sledding there if you want, but you're going to have to go sledding by yourself because we'll all be skiing. It's down by Cincinnati. It's super fun. We spent a bunch of time in the lodge, but we went on like the best day, I think, because it was crazy busy. It was probably like
So-
2,000 people there.
Is it
Damn.
like on a hill, or is it like an indoor thing?
It's like a really big hill.
It's man-made snow, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, except
That's
for
what I'm
we
saying,
went
like,
after it had just snowed.
And it's not a year-round thing, is it?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Because,
'Cause I always just forget that like we're in the Midwest. Skiing is like not.
But have you been down to Cincinnati? You know that the further south you go in Indiana, the more hilly it gets. And so like they just happen to have a spot that has really good inclines. Yeah.
So I was going to talk about like you said, surprising locations like where you don't assume to be skiing. So actually, a big skiing spot is in Tennessee.
Well, yeah, Tennessee's hella hilly, and if it gets cold enough, you get water.
Because I just knew that because my cousin was telling me like they were about to go skiing in Tennessee. I'm like, how the fuck are you going to go skiing in Tennessee?
Also, mountain cabins are pretty well. I don't know what the economy is like now, but they were pretty cheap in Tennessee for a while. We could
Rock climbing's pretty nice out there.
we could all go
Yes,
in on a
sir.
mountain cabin, dude.
So there's a lot of shit to do in Tennessee.
See, and those are the kind of vacations you should be planning for yourself. But so we did that. We spent New Year's. We went to like a small like party, and we weren't feeling it, so we went home and chilled out. and they were shooting way more than I thought they were going to be shooting around the crib. And I went outside to go film. You can see it on my Instagram, and our neighbor definitely came out with a shotgun, but it sounded like he lit a trash can on fire and shot a cannonball out that bitch.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Ooh, did he have dragon breath ammo?
Maybe. I wasn't looking. I just heard it, and it's like, damn, man, I ain't, because I've been,
Trying to survive.
I'm not telling anyone where my new location is, but I'd been living downtown for so long that I had kind of forgot about all the super shooting. But it was good. Also, boys were out just showing off their illegal shit. Every time you heard a fucking 3-round burst or just a full auto, I was like, damn, that shit's hella illegal. I was like, damn, what the fuck's happening out there? So did that. Played a bunch of video games. I'm back on Cyberpunk. Hung out with a bunch of family. Hung out with my little sister. My mom and we came over and they watched a Czech movie called Polishki, and they enjoyed it, which I was surprised by. But it's a good movie. It's like the Czech movie.
What do you like? I don't know if I trust your suggestions anymore. What do you mean by a good movie?
Hold on, what movie have I suggested to you recently that
I'm
was?
trying to think. I was like, hold on, was Chris the one?
No, you guys watch Old Boy on your own. Although I would have told you it was good.
You know what he just suggested recently though?
Oh boy, was good.
He just suggested Megan.
Yeah, I do want to go see that.
I want to see that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wanna
the
see
little
that.
weird android.
Yeah, with a little dancing. Polishki is a movie about these like 3 different families all living in Czech right before the Russians take over. Sounds familiar. And so the movie's just like about how these families are living and dealing and just kind of being themselves, but you see them dealing with like a lot of culture war bullshit where like there's this kid who wears blue jeans and everybody's like that fucking hippie with his stupid hair. Like nobody likes him, but he's like the cool kid because his parents live in America and they send him blue jeans. And then there's like all the other like kids and there's his dad who's like super pro Russia and he's like, bro, we gotta fuck with Russia. They're the shit. Like they're gonna hook us up. And then like spoiler at the end of the movie, like Russia literally invades. Like no one asked them to invade. And the dude who's like super pro Russia was like, damn, how the fuck they do this? This movie also has 3 suicide attempts and they're all funny. It's a very the Czechs are very dark people.
Yikes.
There's also a guy who yells so much in this movie he causes it like you see him yelling and you're just like, who can yell that much? Like, God. Anyway, good movie, I guess. Watch it.
So I have a question. You said you watch a Czech movie. Now, would you watch it like in dub or
Subtitles.
subtitles?
Yeah.
I know enough Czech to catch every 1,000th word.
Nice.
Good shit.
I think when it comes to animation, it's okay to switch the language, but if it's a live action thing,
Yeah, don't do that.
yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any
It looks
sense.
stupid and it sounds
Like
dumb.
Squid Game, Money Heist. It just it's
Dark.
Off. It's off.
I'll give you Squid Games and Money Heist, but there's some that is actually pretty good. It's not bad. Like I we'll get later on to it, but I've been watching a lot of Indian crime true stuff on Netflix, and I don't understand a lot. Like some of it is in Tamil or whatever, so I put it in dub. I personally think the translations are not that bad.
Dubbed to English or dubbed to like Hindi?
No, like so it was the original language was Hindi, and then they spoke in English.
Okay.
So that's dub. Isn't that dub?
Yeah,
That's-
I need my subtitles honestly, especially for a documentary. And like for Polishki, it's a slow enough movie. It's different for anime and animations because I think the shit comes by so fast. But like I wouldn't watch. I'm trying to think of a really good action movie that's super visual. Like,
RRR.
okay, like no,
It is though.
yeah, it is though. But like, all right, so yeah, I guess like subtitles in that one's kind of hard, but you know, you have to. And I'd rather have the subtitles anyway, even though the subtitles I think were in Tagalog, even though the movie was in Hindi or vice versa, which was still kind of confusing. But yeah.
Ooh, you know, 2 really highly acclaimed foreign action movies, or not? I don't know how many.
The Raid.
Yes,
Raid is fucking great, son.
I've never seen them. We should.
Yeah,
I
I've
want to
never heard
react.
Raid Shadow Legends?
No,
No,
dog.
no, no,
It's
no.
an
It's like-
Indonesian
it's
movie where a motherfucker whoops ass for an hour and a half straight.
It's just
Damn.
super violent, and like the fight choreography is nuts. It's like the it just feels so real. Like the violence feels very real. It's like
Yeah.
these people are getting hurt.
Yeah. Like literally the whole premise of the movie is like there's a dude in this apartment complex and we got to go get him. And they like walk in the first floor and everyone's like, well, we don't have guns here. So you're going to have to whoop ass to the top floor. And then dude's like, oh, well, if you say so.
Well,
Actually,
so
I
be
do
it.
think there are some guns, but not a lot. But anyway, it's crazy. It's like hella good martial arts.
Yeah.
It's not a good game.
And
It would be a
and
good
two of the guys from the raid were in John Wick 3.
Yep.
That I was about to say, it's like, it seems like John Wick 3.
Yep.
So,
That
Mickey, what about you? What did you get up to on these holidays? You get any cool gifts? Did anybody get you that custom-made butt plug you were asking for?
No, did not get the butt plug, but I did. Honestly, me and my family, we don't really do surprises anymore. We just we're very practical. Like, hey, what do you want? You know, because everybody's so hard to shop for. So there wasn't really any surprises. I asked for a Zoom field recorder. I asked for a Oculus head strap, a third-party thing that has external batteries to it, so
Nice.
that the battery lasts longer. But it's crappy. It sucks. And I looked at it. It was the one with the really good reviews, and I read reviews, and people were like, "Yeah, it's awesome. It's amazing." I bought it, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't feel secure. It feels like if I'm gonna move around, the thing's gonna fly off. So I was
You need some duct tape.
a little disappointed by that. I'll give you an example. My dad is probably the hardest one to shop for because he'll ask for things, but then just go buy it for himself.
I like that too.
So he was kind of giving me clues. He's like, "Yeah, my computer kind of sucks. I kind of need a new one." So I was like, "Bet, I'm gonna build him a computer. It's gonna be a great surprise. He's gonna love it." Bought himself a computer, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about upgrading my monitor too." And I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll go buy him a monitor. He's gonna love it. He bought himself a monitor." So I just ended up getting him some really lame gifts, and that's not my fault.
So you're getting a
on
tie
him
and
at this
socks.
point.
I tried,
Yeah, you did your best.
I'm moving again, so I honestly I
Ew.
spent most of my break just moving shit, and I just I hate moving, but
No
I'm
one likes it.
I am
That
excited. It's a great place. I can't wait to show you guys.
Will this be your last move?
I hope so. I really hope so.
What, you gonna die in this fucking house?
I don't.
that's
I
the
don't
plan,
think.
sounds
Well,
like.
I mean, for a while,
For a
because
while,
like
yeah.
because like for the
Die for a
past
while.
for the past 5 to 6 years, I don't think I have stayed in one place for
Or 2
more,
years.
for more than I think 2 years max. But usually, average, I've moved every single year.
Yeah.
and always in the winter.
That would suck. I know.
And
I
I'm
know
so
how that
sick
is.
of it. I'm so sick of it. But it was too good of a deal to pass up, so I took it. Yeah. Other than that, I've been getting my shit together mentally. I went and talked to my psychologist.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
nice. Congratulations. Hold on, everybody. Big hand.
I'm sorry, my psychiatrist.
Mental health is important.
Who I actually. So I know I've had ADHD for most of my life. I just never did anything about it. So I officially I have ADHD and anxiety disorder. So I've got the meds for it. Got my shit on lock.
They feeling better? I know you were a little iffy about them at first.
I mean, yes. I'm on Adderall right now. I still think it's a little too powerful of a stimulant for me. I'm actually switching my providers because I just didn't feel a good connection with my first provider. So I'm in the process of switching things around and possibly trying a different medication. Although I do think my tolerance is built up now, so I think I could deal with the Adderall, but I just don't want to keep taking it knowing that there could be something else that's more effective.
Yeah.
It's a gamble.
For someone that's been on Adderall for a while, I understand your concerns because I feel the same way. What my doctor, because I was I had those. I used to get those heart whatever palpitations or whatever, and then so I talked to my doctor about it, and he was telling me I think the reason why we get pushed Adderall so much is the cheapest drug, and insurance are most willing to cover that than any other thing.
Yep.
And I was trying to get Vyvanse, and my doctor's like, we just have to go through this first, and I told him I long term, how is this? Because it also fucks with I get agitated, frustrated if I'm not on it, or I'll get in a depressive episode if I stop taking Adderall for a while. So I talked to my doctor about that, and I told him long term, how is this going to affect my health? And he says there's so much research done on Adderall than any other stimulant in the field of ADHD that it is truly safe. He says this is more of a safer drug than other drugs, just based on research.
I can believe that. It's a double-edged sword because it is super effective. I mean, I felt the difference right away. 10 minutes after taking it, I was a different person. Who I am without the medication
100%
and who
agree.
I am with the medication are two completely different people. And I'm honestly having a little bit of an identity crisis now because it's is this the real me or am I suppressing the real me to be a better me? It's confusing, but Adderall is great, but it is also easily abused.
Yep.
It is very easily abused. So
See that.
Been selling my Adderall so I can get beer money.
I'm walking my line to find my lane. So yeah,
I'm walking my line to find my lane. I like that.
I actually, you know what? There was a quote that I don't know who said it. It was on an internet video, but it really resonated with me. So it said, it's not your fault for who you are and how you are, but it is your responsibility. And that really resonated with me. So
I think you told
Deep
me
Mickey.
this. I think you or Patrick, our therapist. I think it's probably you who told me this. Like, no matter, it's like it's not your fault where you are now, but it's your fault where you end up.
that's probably Patrick. There's no way I said that.
Mickey was probably like, if you here right now, fuck you. That's on you. You shit the bed all the way to here. All right, well, check it out. I know one thing we did over break was play a lot of Warzone and a lot of DMZ, and I need to know. I need to know from y'all. Because I got an opinion here, all right? I think we fucked up, all right? I think, but when I say we, I mean like the boys at work here and like everybody else around a little like video game friend group. We played too much multiplayer, leveling up these guns, and we never got into the fun shit. Multiplayer got boring and stale for me. Warzone or DMZ? Which one is it?
So I'll be honest. Over the break, I didn't game the Call of Duty. I felt fatigue, Call of Duty fatigue. I didn't want to play. Like,
Well, which modes were you playing?
I remember, like, you know, our boys hitting up at night. It's like, hey, let's get on. I'm like, I'll get on. But then I'll just pop on like a show, like a show or something like that. Fuck it, I don't want to get on the game. So I feel like Call of Duty fatigue. Like, and I think a lot of it was we fucked up. We played a lot of multiplayer, but Call of Duty forced us to play a lot of multiplayer because they wanted us to level up those damn guns. Because the guns that we want, like the attachments I want, I had to play with different guns. So when they made me do that, then they conditioned me to want to level every fucking gun I had. So once I did that, then what's the fucking point of playing? They Call of Duty fucked me over.
The same
The
reason you play
developers
in the
fucked
first
me over.
place, to prove that you're better than everyone else. No,
But you already what's the point? When I play a match,
Have you
I play a
played
match
DMZ?
I play a match to upgrade my gun. Now if I just play a match
to
with,
win.
So
You don't play for the dub, boy. Did you just tell me that you're only playing for your own
but you also got
selfish
dub.
leveling of your weapons?
I actually had the opposite experience because I started playing with the TAC, and I
Yeah.
really wanted this one particular skin for it, and I had to play with a whole different gun to do it. So like going through that experience, I was like, you know what? I'm not messing with the weapons. This is my gun. This is what I'm playing with. I don't care about leveling up anything else. For me, Warzone or DMZ, I haven't played enough DMZ to have an opinion on it.
You guys are killing me.
Warzone, I just, you guys get on so late. I'm like,
man.
I'm an old man. I'm asleep.
Wake your old ass up and
You know?
get into the DMZ.
Like
Well, I'm not gonna
always-
lie, Mickey. I just do mine on the weekends. Like I'm up in the morning. That's me though.
So
bet. I'm
I don't
calling
have an opinion on DMZ. I played one round. It seemed fun. Warzone, of course, you know, it's great. But I think for me, like especially tier 1, like I really just like getting in there and playing a few rounds of like team deathmatch. Like that's just a couple rounds, get some dubs, get some kills, get your KDR up.
I'm gonna try not to roast you on that.
And I'm good.
Because that is your prerogative, and I'm glad that you have a lot of fun doing that.
Tier 1? You're
Tier
about to
1's
roast me at
fun.
tier
Hard
1?
Tier is
hardcore
fun.
I haven't done tier 1 yet. I'm so tired of any of the multiplayer ones. It's back to the same Call of Duty bullshit that I've always bitched about. No one's playing the fucking objective. Everyone just wants to run around shooting each other on their own shit. This is
that's
not
what-
a team game
And
anymore.
that's exactly why I don't play the objective
See-
games. Like I don't play, like I'll do kill confirmed at the most.
You
And,
barely
like,
confirm your kills. I've played with you.
Fuck kill confirmed,
exactly.
it's the worst.
That's why I just stick to team deathmatch. Like I'll play objectives when all the boys are on and we can talk and like kick
Yeah.
ass. But like if I'm playing by myself, I typically just stick to team deathmatch.
See, that for me, all right, so I love all of my favorite Call of Duty experiences have been ones where we've been playing Warzone and we pulled off some dope shit,
Yeah.
or like something crazy fucking happened, or we
Yeah.
died in some way that was stupid. The only
Warzone
one
is
downside is that like our first couple of rounds of Warzone or DMZ is always everybody catching up. You're like, oh yeah, bro, you been doing? Oh yeah, I've been good. I'm dead. Like it's, we need to have like a pre-Discord hangout. We need to like have a Discord chat. Like, all right, we're gonna chat and catch up for 10 minutes, and then we're gonna get into Warzone.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when we're in Warzone, sometimes I can't deal with how bossy you guys get. Like, you're on the open, dumbass. Come over.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
We
man,
got
hey,
to
man. Hey man, I got eyes. I can take care of myself. You worry about yours.
Mickey,
Alright?
we're
trying to move
only
in
as
the
strong
unit.
as our weakest link, and Mickey will be fucking 10 clicks away
I
on a
can
completely
myself.
different map.
Fiddle farting around.
I can win
Not
firefights. I can, you know, there's always the gulag.
There's
always a gulag.
And then we wasting our money buying your ass back.
That's
Yeah.
a T-shirt. There's always the gulag.
There's always the ghoulie.
There is one format I do like Call of Duty and I've been playing Spidey a lot was Raid. That makes you feel
fun.
like a real motherfucking Call of Duty player, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you like stealthy. Oh yeah.
I like
yeah,
co-op shit. I like where we gotta do teamwork. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely like the DMZ. DMZ has more risk to it. It feels like because you're like
You can lose
taking
everything.
stuff in there, that you can lose. So if you can actually build your dude up and become the shit, like it seems like you're risking more.
And I've always wanted to play Tarkov, so like I'm big. I like DMZ. It also it's hard like to every time I queue with like randos, and they just all split off in different directions. I'm like, I hate all you guys. Like, why would you even play this game mode if you didn't like what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Or like now because we're old, there's all these chibi kids on there and they sound like Donnie from the Wild Thornberries. And it's like, I don't. Who taught you to hold a controller? I know you didn't buy this shit on your own, kid. Fuck, man. I don't know. Go play some blocks. You little preschool fuck.
Bugs.
Oh man, I've actually wanted to Twitch stream Call of Duty, but like as a character, like a very clean like dad with like a mustache, and because like one of my things is like I love turning on a voice chat, and then when people talk shit in the games afterwards, I'm like, hey, you're breaking terms and conditions right now. There's no cussing anymore. So I just like I just like to be super lame. Like my anti shit talking is just like a lame dad.
Oh man, nope.
Mine has gotten really. I usually whenever anybody's like, oh yeah, well, fucking news, fucking pussy, I'm just like, what's your dad look like? 'Cause I'll fuck him. And they're like, what, bro, what? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
Dude, I read a meme that had the best burn like that you could say, and I haven't tried it yet, but it's like when you're shit talking in the after lobby, you just tell them, hey man, you play like your credit score's low.
I like that. I like it. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that.
Well, I guess I should say major pause on that, but no, that's exactly
funny.
what I meant for it to sound like. I like to throw people off their games. I think, or there was just one. We were really close to winning, man. We got like 4th place, and like towards the end, the only problem that I need to play more to get past it. But like in that last like end game when it's like 30 people in one circle and everyone's on voice chat talking hella shit, like that will absolutely throw me off. My friends are like, bro, he's over here, he's over here, he's over there. I'm like, fuck, I don't know where anybody. I need to just turn all y'all off so I can focus. But long story short, DMZ.
DMZ. I like DMZ over Warzone 2.
I still really like Warzone though.
Is it because it's like more risky because of like the you can lose your stuff thing?
Yeah, and it's also quicker.
Yeah.
You know, it's like DMZ, you could pop in, get out if you want. Just do one quick mission, get out. Warzone, you got to stick through it. But I personally think, man, I think Call of Duty needs to figure out a way for us to just constantly just do raids.
They're going to be doing a new one every season, I think.
Yeah, they're gonna drop those every season.
But like, I mean, if I want to do it, like once we complete a raid, I have to get a raid ticket and to do another raid.
Yep.
Like, I just want us to just be a mode. If you want to play a raid, just go play a raid right now.
Nah, bro, raids ain't for everybody. You gotta earn that shit.
Yeah.
That's upset me so much that I'm walking away from the podcast forever.
Yeah, he's
Damn.
Chris just wow.
We just
oh my god,
lost
he's
Chris.
actually walking away.
Oh my
Damn,
God, he
yo,
flipped the chair.
I like DMZ, Chris. I like DMZ. Come back.
No, but I haven't played enough DMZ, but I imagine that it's kind of like Warzone, where it's like a different experience every time. Crazy shit happens. And
I think
like,
you'd fuck with DMZ.
Yeah,
Especially
there's a lot
like
of sorry.
I was
there's-
gonna say if you mess with the co-op, but my bad, yeah.
there's also bots in DMZ, right? It's not just players
Bots
that
in,
you're running
yeah.
into. Yeah.
So then, like, part of the game is like figuring out, oh, is that a group of players over there?
Yeah.
Like trying to. Also, with that new mechanic where you can let people join your team is pretty cool too.
Yeah, that's sick.
Do you ever find in DMZ, like if you do run into another group of players and you know that both of you are player groups, like has there ever been a time where they avoid a fight with each other? Just
No, you can let people join your team. You can recruit people. You can recruit all 3 of the new people that you just bumped into your team and have a 6-man team.
Oh, that's tight.
But you got to talk it out.
How do you talk it out?
It's
Like
always
on
a tough
proximity chat,
situation.
you're be like, yo, what's the plan? Because you guys won't have to see each other to do it. Like if they're in the
Dude,
building
okay,
next to you,
that's
like,
pretty
hey,
tight. That's
if you
pretty
guys
cool.
invite us, like we'll invite you. Like everything will be cool and we can be a 6-man group and we can go ham. Or like if y'all want the problems, you can get the problems.
Yeah.
Props- I
wanna try
The same
this.
way you used to like spray paint, it lets you give like the option to be like request like join team or team or some shit.
But like, okay, so could they join your team
And
then-
fuck you up? Yeah.
No.
real
Once you're on your
tense
team, friendly
situation.
fires off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Once
If
they join, they gotta
officially-
actually join
okay.
up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just watched. There was a Stone Mountain video where he.
Stone Mountain's so hilarious.
I
man.
fucking love that dude. But he had his whole entire team died. He had a bunch of like fucking idiots on his team. Like he was doing that thing where he does like with the randos, and there was one team left, and he was like, it was a whole team of 4. He's like, I know you guys are out there. He's like, I've been here, and they were like, if you drop your guns and come out, like, we'll be cool. He like drops his guns and comes out with his fist, and he's just like, what are we doing here? He was like, just let me join your team, and we can all win. We can all get out of here. And they're like, I don't know, man, get on the floor. And they're just like. They're like, all right, bro, you're gonna have to walk into the gas. He's like, I don't want to. And he's, you know how he's got that whole character he does and shit. And like they force him to like walk out into the gas and die. And it's fucking hilarious. Like the game has things like that now where it's like who knows how things can go. Proximity chat kind of changed the game, which is tight.
Proximity chat is hilarious, man. It's so funny.
Well, speaking of proximity chat, what are your New Year's resolutions? Smooth transition, so smooth they'll call it Astroglide. Just
I want to be more financially literate.
nice.
Because of this move, because I have a house currently, so now I'm in this weird spot of like, do I keep it? Do I sell it? Do I rent it? Like, so, and there's a lot of financial literacy is the most boring stuff in the world, dude.
Bro, once you learn it, that shit's incredible.
But you need to know it. Like, you need to know it. It's not something that they teach you in school. And I really hate the vocabulary and the vernacular in the financial world. I think it's super pretentious and up its own ass. Like principal and escrow. Like when I found out, I didn't know what principal meant for the longest time. Principal just means the money you owe. So if you take out a $15,000 loan, your principal is $15,000. Why don't we just say that? Hey, why don't we just say that? I feel like it's intentionally complicated.
That's because it is.
Yeah, it's like intentionally complicated so that not everybody can learn it. And it's really messed up, man, because it's like, it's super important.
I think the only thing in the world that is complicated and you do need someone else for specifically, medical shit and like the law.
Yeah.
Like those things you need someone to navigate with. But like when you're like, I want to take out a loan, like you're going to need a loan officer. And you're like, okay. And a loan officer just essentially is like, hey, this is what all this shit means. And it's like, damn, what if you put it in like layman's terms and then I didn't need you? And he's like, but you need me.
Exactly.
Straight up.
Like it's just, I don't know, man. It's the vocabulary that's like really tough because it's like very pretentious.
It is.
Also, so we just bought a house recently, and when we did, we had to find like literally like a stack of paperwork this big. And I asked the dude, I was like, why are we having to do this? Like, this seems like an excessive amount of paperwork. He was like, you remember the housing crash of 2008? He's like, I was working back then. I was like, oh yeah. And he was like, if you showed up with your credit score and an ID, you could get any house you wanted. And I was like, excuse me?
Yep.
He's like, if you had a 700 credit score and an ID, you could buy a mansion. And I was like,
Yep.
I'm not a finance guy, but that seems like a really bad idea. And he goes, well, that's why the housing market crashed. And like hearing that and knowing that I'm stupid really feels like this shit was a scam. Really feels like a bunch of motherfuckers were getting filthy rich and just being like, don't tell anybody that this shit's fucked until it literally hurts everyone. And now I know 2 couples living with each other because there's no other way to afford shit at the moment.
The best documentary, I think it maybe came out in 2009 or 2010. It happened after the 2008 bubble, but it was called Inside Job.
Yeah.
And it was narrated by Matt Damon.
And then there's the movie, The Big Short.
Yep.
That is also,
Inside, if you haven't seen the documentary Inside Job, watch it. It's a great historical.
Yeah, which is, once again, it's the kind of shit that like, I know that a lot of people want to focus on like crazy conspiracies in the world and shit, but it's like, hey, look here. They're controlling the housing market in order to make money. They're not doing it so that no one can have houses. They're doing it so people can get rich. And look at you, living in a box now.
It's not the controlling aspect of it. It's when they show you how people shuffle between jobs. Like this one guy who's in politics now used to be on the board of the company that he's now making laws for to give. It's so fucked, man. It's so fucked how they funnel people around. And like you could be a CEO of a company and then a politician and then be like, oh, the regulations are too strict. All right, well now I'm going to go into politics and change those regulations so that my company, it's fucked up, man.
Mansion and cinema.
So what I was thinking of was like when the housing crisis happened, everything went down. And I used to work like when the housing crisis happened, I think in 2008. In 2011, I was doing mortgages. So I was like out the loan advisor, and I was doing mortgages for refinances for houses. And then the whole paperwork, we were learning about how the paperwork was being done. And then one thing I learned was like, after the housing crisis, all this extra paperwork that came about and people were making money, so many mom and pop mortgage companies popped up. And now there's so many, those mom and pop mortgage companies popped up after the housing crisis. And then because, again, so they can make money off of this ridiculous loans process that you were just talking about. And then now when they made these money, that's the reason they had these mom and pops. Now, literally, there's probably 3 or 4 big mortgage companies that pretty much own the United States. There's one mortgage company, I think it's called like, it starts with a U, and they actually just bought the Phoenix Suns basketball team for $4 billion.
$4 billion? Is the team even worth?
It's a lot of billions.
So and they're like a wholesaler. So like the mortgage wholesaler. So like these they used to be mom and pops now. And I used to work for one of those mom and pops. Now these mom and pops got sold out or like bought out or whatever. Now you only have maybe 2 or 3 big mortgage companies out there. That means they own United States, like the properties of the United States. Like, I don't think that's right. Because let's say if one of those companies like has a bad CEO or bad Apple, and that company goes down, then you just cause like a housing crisis.
All right, I got an idea for a new podcast for Pat. It's called Accidentally Woke.
Like what happened to monopoly laws?
And trust laws. They're out, bro.
Like the company Unilever and Kirkland.
Yeah.
The amount of shit that those companies make under their umbrella. Like, what?
You would see the same for the news. You would see Disney buying up so much. It's for a lot of shit.
It all funnels to like one thing ultimately. This is why you got to follow the pipeline. You got to know how the money works, man. You got to see what these motherfuckers are doing.
So, resolutions. What do you got, Spidey?
I want to travel more. I've never actually been outside the country, so I do want to do that.
Hey, man, if you plan to travel, let me know because I can know how to plan. So I'll travel with you.
I got you, bro.
All right, are you going really outside the country or like low key outside the country?
Really outside the country. You know, Bria's mostly grown up in Europe, so she wants to take me around like her old stomping grounds.
That'd be dope.
We're going to Marquetta's mom. All right, I know we've been talking about moving forever, not going. But Marquetta's mom's birthday is in the summer. We're going in the summer.
Yeah, we're
and I haven't been over to Paris yet. And I got somebody I need to stop through and holler at Dusseldorf, so we could do a whole little Euro thing.
Can I fifth wheel if I'm not locked down by then?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, even if you are locked down, bring your lady with you too, man.
Well, yeah,
Although here's the thing, though, Mickey. If you come to check with me, scoot back, Pat. I need to make eye contact with him. I'm gonna take you to the saunas. Come on, man.
Is there something weird about the saunas?
No, they're just all butt naked over there.
Yeah,
Just old naked. Are they unisex or is it?
It's unisex.
Fat check dudes.
No, it's not. What's co-ed? It's all co-ed.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah. Although this is one of the reasons why I got contacts, because the last time I was there, I didn't have my glasses on, and like I walked up to somebody and I almost started talking to him because I thought it was Marquetta, and like as I got closer, I was like, oh, now I just gotta walk away now. Mike, I'm like the only
so what if
black
there's
person there.
a hot lady in the sauna and you pop a boner?
Well, fun fact, you don't.
Hey, there you go.
What do you mean?
I mean, like I was there and there was this lady who literally looked like one of those fucking top 10 models, and I was like, Jesus, the fuck? But I wasn't like, damn, ooh, and I was like, I'm doing my own chill, relaxed thing. Like, just because a hot naked person's next to you doesn't mean you pop a boner. You're not gonna fuck this person.
Been hot
Your dick
naked
knows
my
how to
whole
behave.
life.
Yeah, but
I don't
You're
know.
not
My
13
day don't know how to
anymore.
behave sometimes, bro. Like the way
are
it
you
is properly.
saying, is it like the heat of the sauna that'll
No, I'm saying that you're gonna be so surprisingly chill that I don't think that part's gonna bother you. You won't even.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty chill at a strip club. That's a pop bonus. at strip club.
Strip club is
Strip clubs
sexual.
are
It's not
definitely
sexual.
what is the cultural etiquette for accidental boner?
Yeah.
First you gotta do ice plunges anyway. So you just get up and leave and go jump in the cold ass water. You'd be good.
Oh yeah, the water will work.
Anyway, come to check with me is all I'm saying.
Take care of yourself before you go.
We'll go to the beer sauna where you sit in a tub full of beer.
Ooh.
And then there's also beer on tap.
Do you get drunk?
Yeah.
No. So the tub
Like
full of beer
through
doesn't have
osmosis?
alcohol in it, but the one on tap does. So you just you sit in like a hot tub full of beer and hops, and then you drink straight off.
So what does the hops do for your skin or for your?
I don't fucking know. I ain't never sat in a bathtub full of beer. I don't care.
Hops are in the same family as marijuana.
Same, they smell the same.
Damn, this was just a huge
So
deja vu.
so you guys are planning a Euro trip though to the old French,
Nah,
a
Miss
little
Cousy,
petite
Miss
brique.
Yeah,
Cool.
definitely want to travel. I would like to learn new language. I don't know if I just want to learn Italian because of White Lotus,
Yeah,
which is phenomenal TV.
got that last episode.
Yeah, fucking Jennifer Coolidge. Go ahead, bitch. Or if it's just because I kind of like how the language sounds. Like I've learned Spanish in high school. Don't really remember
There's
much.
some
but I
similarities.
pick up. Yeah.
Both romantic
Italian
boys.
just seems cool, and I like Italian food more. So
And I like how dramatic it is.
yeah.
Duolingo or Babbel are
Yeah,
great.
Duolingo.
They're good starter apps.
Yeah. Oh, what about you, Pant?
I want to travel and get back into shape before my injury.
Bro, I got you. Let's do this shit.
Yeah.
At the gym.
I need to. I know everyone says the gym, but I had a pretty decent gym routine until I moved slightly further away from the gym, and so I need to rework that back into my life. But that's that.
You can come lift the weight right here.
No, I'm gonna keep going to Mass Ave where I like going, and I just need to work that in. But I do have to. Our bus is back up and running.
Yeah.
So, old Schoolisha. That's the bus's name.
Schoolisha?
Yeah, that's not the business's name. That's the bus's name. The business is Sana Social. The bus is Schoolisha. But I want to get back. We're starting to. Today is going to be our third day out. So I really want to get that steady because once that's steady, we'll be able to move to check properly and like figure out like who's going to run the bus and all these other things. It's really exciting because I enjoy the business. I enjoy that other people enjoy it and I like doing it. But the only downside is that last Saturday was my first like full day being at the bus. And I got the bus up to 90 degrees. And I don't know if you guys know this, but sitting in a 90-degree bus for like 5 hours makes you so incredibly tired. I came home and like slept for 2 hours straight.
Damn.
Because I was just sitting in there like warmed up and shit. So I need to like figure out like some things to do. And I'm thinking that I'll work on music while I'm at the bus. And like I'll do like some bus work and like some social media stuff for it. But then I want to like work on my music more, which I think would be good. And I'm putting out a photo book this year too. Which also that's it. I got like small attainable goals, like little resolutions. I've been being more healthy with my little sleep machine, so that's been good. So yeah.
I got a sleep machine.
Oh yeah.
Got me a
You got a
little-
CPAP?
Got a little CPAP. I haven't used it yet though. I just got it yesterday.
You want some tips and tricks?
Sure.
Which mask do you have?
You know what? I haven't even looked all the way through.
All right, so let me tell you this. One, I don't know how you sleep, but I had the one that goes over my face, and I sleep with my mouth open, and I was just drowning. I was like,
I'm
what?
trying to not do.
Why am I so wet? And I was like, oh, I'm just drooling in this thing. That's gross. Plus, it was making my face break out, so I stopped that. They got this one called nose pillows, where like these little things like sit on your nose. That one works for me, but you got to get used to sleeping with your mouth closed. So I have like a bandana, and I'll just like tie it around my chin so my mouth stays closed. real
That's so
jank ass shit. No, super. Like the bandana's not hard. It just keeps you like whenever you relax, instead of your mouth opening all the way, it just won't. And then the nose pillows sit here, but the only downside is that like. The last thing I need to fix is the strap for it is kind of getting old, like the Velcro on it. So like it slips off my nose, but that's it. You gotta train yourself deliberately. It's taken me like, I think I'm in like month number 8 or 9 at this point, but like I'm starting to get good at it. But you gotta figure out like what's wrong with it. Like step 1, try to sleep with it and like make a list of I hate all these things and then like fix those things.
I'm
once you're
worried
good,
it's
you're
gonna
good.
like not work still, and I'm gonna find out that it's just my tongue blocking my tonsils or some shit.
Oh no! So the way the air pushes in, it keeps that because that's what it did for me. There, I was like, "What can I do?" And the lady was like, "You just have such a big neck, and you just like you're so muscular." And I was like,
Like,
"Thanks,
shut up,
bitch, I'm dying. What can I do?" And she's like, "Well, you could lose weight, but that probably won't work for you because like you don't really look like you're that overweight." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Well," she was like, "You can get a surgery." But that probably wouldn't work either because we don't know if the surgery's gonna work. Like we could do it, but we don't know if it's gonna work. And I was like, so what are my options?
What is the problem do you have? For what do you need a CPAP for?
It's big in here and
No.
shit touches.
CPAP is for because you sleep too much or
No,
CPAP
no,
you
it's because
snore?
when you sleep, you snore, and that snoring at some point in time is blocking your airway, and you stop
How's
breathing.
that killing you?
Well, because when you stop breathing for that little bit of time, your body gets alert. You get hit with cortisone, which raises your blood pressure, which raises your heart rate, and it wakes you up for like a brief moment. Throughout the night, you won't notice.
Yeah.
But in the morning, you wake up tired still, and you have trouble staying awake, and you fall asleep. And then when you go to the doctor, they're like, this shit is affecting your heart and your blood bad because essentially every night I'm being scared awake like 30 times a night.
So you wake up in the middle of the night.
No, I don't wake up. I'm waking up, but I don't know that I'm waking up. Does that make sense? Like my body just like
it's like when you put an alarm on and you wake up briefly to turn it off and then you go back to sleep and then you wake up late not remembering that you turned the alarm off.
yeah.
It's happening constantly throughout the night.
Like I think I had a thing that was like in the last hour you had 10 events and I'm like okay so like 10 micro wake ups like that's not great especially because it's not
In
just
an
like
hour.
I'm not waking up naturally. I'm waking up like and then like going back to sleep and like
But you're not actually waking up.
no it's happening I just don't remember
Yeah,
it. Like I don't
okay.
know it and so
Your
like it's
body is naturally trying to save itself from choking.
yes and it's awful.
Because snoring has been around for such a long time. I never knew it was such a deadly thing.
It's not really
it
just
depends on the kind of snoring.
Yeah.
Marquetta snores a little bit. It's kind of cute. She sounds like a little
So
tiny chainsaw.
so how do you know the difference in snoring? Like
Well, because
You'll
when
know.
I snore, it sounds like I'm bringing down the house, and then also sometimes if anyone's listening to me snore, they'll hear me stop breathing.
Yeah.
Just
damn, I need to put a
Like,
speaker on
literally
my
like
phone to
that.
sleep.
Literally that noise. Like,
Yeah, I've recorded myself up all night and been like, oh man, it sounds like a ghost is fucking choking me.
That's fucking crazy, dude. I never knew that.
Yeah, ghost dick in your throat.
Right?
So I also have a question about the CPAP. So like, you laying down. So when you sleep, like the machine that you just cover your face or like your nose, whatever.
It just goes like over
tube,
my nose,
right? Is there a tube?
Yeah.
So like you can't. You guys like you gotta always sleep flat, like on your back.
I got it now. I got it so I can sleep on either side, like either my left side or my right side. But I primarily do it on my back. But it's also, they say on your back is the healthiest way to sleep, apparently. But I'm a side sleeper, so I'll do I'll do on my side for a bit, and then like try to flip over to my back like run, so I'm getting like all the way asleep.
I want to be a side sleeper, but it hurts my shoulder.
I don't know. I feel like it's more comfortable on my shoulder.
I feel like I'm crushing my arm.
Hey guys, we got Dr. Puffy who says it's not snoring itself. Apnea is when you stop breathing, which of course. Not having oxygen is bad for you. Thanks, Dr. Puffy.
Thanks, Dr. Puffy.
The message of the day is get oxygen, stupid. Not having oxygen is bad for you. Oh, so shit. Yeah, I guess all of our resolutions are mostly get healthy, get money, and not die.
Not die.
Oh, and see the world. I would say
see the world.
I need to check to see. I wish that Cuba was back open, but they're going through some fuck shit right now again. But like Cuba would have been tight because it's only a 3-hour flight from here.
Mm-hmm. I actually want to check out Cuba.
And it's vastly different than here. Hardcorely different.
I want to go to Bora Bora. I also want to swim with whales and like Baba'u.
Baba'u.
I have a question. You've been to Miami before too. So
yes.
Is Cuba like Miami? Because
nothing
like Cuba, nothing like Miami.
Not at all.
Not even like little Havana.
I just feel like this better get racist.
Maybe a little, but not like no. Cuba's a fucking communist island nation.
I'm not talking about the country itself, but just like the
way it looks.
Not like that.
The vibe.
Yeah, exactly. The vibe.
No. The reason why I brought up the communist island thing is because both of those things, I think, being on an island, people are like, I get around to doing shit when I do it. And because the fucking country's communist and like people aren't exactly making a lot of money from doing shit. I was at a restaurant that opened at noon and it was 2:00 and homie was just outside talking. And I was like, y'all open? He was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I mean, can I cut? He was like, it's about to rain. I think I'm going to close anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're just like.
Doesn't Cuba almost feel like a time capsule with like their cars and stuff? Like
it kind of does, but it also feels violently sad.
I haven't been
because of the cars where everyone's like, oh, those old cars are so cool. We've had them under embargo for so long that they have to literally, if anyone's been to Cuba long enough, you've ridden in one of those cars that's overheated. But like, they're like keeping these bitches alive barely. Damn. So there's like a lot of cool resilience and shit, but also it's like a lot of fuck shit. Miami's 90 miles away, yet they don't get any. There's no trade in between us because of some shit that went down during the Cold War.
There's a lot of cool art from Cuba though, because artistic expression is like huge there, and there's like some of the coolest art I've seen is from like I think it was from your pictures when you came back.
Yeah, I mean I love it there. I love the people. It's just the whole. Also, they got JMC trucks there from China that look exactly like GMC trucks because you know China's like, if we're gonna rip some shit off, we're not even going
JMC.
I was like, what the fuck? It was like, is that GMC? My brain was like reading the J. I was like, that has to be
General Motor Company.
Yeah, but the cars there are tight. Shit's cool. Anyway, see the world. All right, so
that's funny, JMC.
Moving on towards the end of this, let's keep this one short. We got 2 more topics. What movies and TV shows are y'all looking forward to? I'll tell you one that I am going to be kind of sad excited for is You. I don't know why I want to watch more You. I've just been watching so much of it that I guess I'm going to watch it. My little sister's into Joe Goldberg, and I don't understand it.
It's so well written.
I was like, do you like Penn Badgley? And she's like, no. I like Joe. And I was like, that's bad. She's like, I know it is. I'm a piece of shit.
Joe's a bad one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I told you, man, there's people out there that like serial killers.
You should talk to Gabby because Gabby's like, I don't know why, but yeah, Joe's that dude.
Damn.
I don't get that.
Some people just want that danger in their life. They gotta know that at any point, this man might choke me out and throw me over a balcony if I forget.
I mean, even Ted Bundy, when he was like the whole trials were going on, there were still like a lot of women outside the court, like, yeah, I don't know, he looks cute though.
I'd let him murder my pussy.
There's a saying that says sometimes you gotta go and pick your girlfriend up so she knows that you can toss her over the balcony if she ever misbehaves.
Gotta let them know.
You never dangle her. You just.
Let's see. That new Mission Impossible looks crazy. I saw the preview for it before Avatar. I'll probably go watch that.
This man Tom Cruise is.
Yeah,
he's not the greatest actor ever, but he's.
The greatest stuntman.
He's a good stuntman.
We had a poll up there, and that was my question. You know, like I personally thought I still think Tom Cruise is a better actor than Leo. Okay, because Leo, the way this is how.
Where was that poll at? Was it on Patreon?
It was on Patreon. I want to justify my answer. So both of them are actors. Both of them are like right here. Tom Cruise, Leo.
Yeah.
They're both actors.
Yeah.
All right. Now Tom Cruise does his own stunts, so now he gets up a little bit higher. So that's why I'm saying Tom Cruise is a better.
What about this part where Leo acts better than Tom Cruise?
But
Yeah.
but
I thought we were talking about
Leo
acting.
can never do what Tom Cruise can.
Stunt work and acting
Tom
is not the
Cruise-
same thing.
I
Stunt
think I
work
got a
and
really
acting
good
is not the same
analogy.
thing.
Two basketball players, right? What if one of them is really good at being, a well-rounded basketball individual who plays well on a team? I don't know shit about basketball. And the other one only can do crazy-ass dunks from NBA jams. And you're like, oh, those crazy-ass dunks are baller, but, like, does that make you good at basketball?
I'm gonna say yes.
You got one motherfucker.
Athleticism.
That's it. One dude on the team who puts up fucking
Kobe was like that.
who puts up 8 points
Jordan
every game.
was like that.
No, they weren't. They were well-rounded.
No, we're not real about their team members. You go.
Sir, they weren't. I'm talking about just someone who's like having one Harlem Globetrotter on your team.
Okay, that's a different.
That's what I'm talking
Wait,
about.
yeah, that's
The
basically.
stunts.
Okay,
not the playing.
you didn't say Harlem Globetrotter. You said
But Harlem Globetrotters are stunt basketball players.
And one.
Does that make them the best basketball
yeah,
players?
yeah.
And one mixtape. And one mixtape.
Those guys cannot. Because
They're not
it's
better
been
than
proven.
LeBron, though?
They cannot. It's been proven that NBA players can beat N1 players because they go to Rucker Park, and Kobe has gone to Rucker Park and smashed these motherfuckers.
And so we're giving you that exact same analogy, except for in that analogy, Leo's Kobe for whatever fucking reason.
That's what I said.
And who's the other one? Tom Cruise
Cruise.
is fucking hot sauce. Or skip to
Yeah.
my Lou. Or the professor.
The professor. Was
Obviously the professor because
They're
he's white.
both really good actors. I will say this: Tom Cruise is one of the best stuntmen in existence, and he's also a good actor. He plays a lot of roles, usually action roles. I don't think he has as good of a range as some other actors. That's not to say that he's a bad actor. He's a great actor, but Leonardo DiCaprio has played so many different kinds of characters from his early
From Titanic to Inception, like Romeo and Juliet was even
Yeah.
alright.
the Revenant, Django,
What's eating?
Wasn't he in the Iron
what's
Man?
eating?
Django Unchained.
Gil-
Was he
Gilbert
man in the
Grape.
Iron Mask?
I thought Jamie Foxx was in
Yes,
Django.
the man in the Iron
Jamie
Mask.
Foxx
Yeah.
is in Django, but Leo's the dude that he
He's
goes
the
to buy his
villain.
wife from.
The man
forgot
in
about
the
him.
man in the and speaking of which, in that scene where he like slams his hand on the table, and he gets cut and he like rubs the blood all over the girl's face.
Kerry Washington.
That was real.
That was
Like
improv.
he accidentally slammed his hand and actually cut himself, but instead of just being like, oh shit, like he stayed in character and adapted, and that was a moment of improvisation.
That shit good acting.
That was
He's a good actor. I'll give you that. But my man's not outside an airplane keeping himself calm.
Hey, you know what? Kobe's good at basketball, but I ain't never seen him cross somebody up while also jamming to an and one mixtape. So I don't know.
Really, like, no, he wasn't doing it while dancing.
and if I was Kerry Washington, I'd have sued the
Oh
fuck
yeah,
out
I'd have
of
been
him.
fucking pissed. I'm like, bitch, where's the AIDS test? You fucking shit.
I'm sorry. No, I'd have been like, did we get the take? Okay, good.
No,
I'm
you know
not suing all you
the
motherfuckers.
producers came over and they say, "Here's an extra $1 million. Let's not talk about it."
Ever again.
No, I will concede. I will concede that Tom Cruise is a better action player, star. But I've recently watched American Psycho, and there's one guy, Christian Bale. I think he might be better than Leo. And I know Leo's universally known. That's the reason why I compare anyone to Leo, because Leo's like one of those universal people like known to be the best actor of all time.
That was Brad Pitt.
No, Brad Pitt's not that good. I personally think Christian Bale is the best actor of all time. I've seen this guy, and you talk about range. I've seen this guy play for so many different characters, and like you could tell when you go watch a movie, and you could tell how much work an actor has put into their character or their acting. And I can, anytime I watch a movie with Christian Bale, I know this man went all out.
Wait, what movie have you watched where he's not attacking someone?
Christian Bale is
Attacking someone.
Yeah, attacking someone. American Psycho, he's attacking people. Batman, he's attacking people. He's attacking Thor, he's attacking people. Like, yeah, I'm just saying, what's the range? Like, what
Equilibrium,
else
he's
is he?
attacking
I know
people.
he's got some.
There
I
was
just
that
don't know.
one movie with him and Mark Wahlberg, I think, where it was like about boxing, and Christian Bale plays like the fuck up drug addict cousin, where he's like,
Yeah, I know the movie you're
super
Does
talking
he
about.
attack somebody?
I don't
No,
think
but
so.
it's
No,
implied in the movie he used to.
Christian Christian Bale is able to like disappear into his roles.
Yes.
That's what it is. And he also like fluctuates his weight, like
his
like,
voice.
But I mean, so does Jared Leto. So like, in dude's kind of way.
Yeah, but
But
Jared,
What are we gonna judge a good actor?
Does Jared Leto have the mannerism of and the voice inflections that Christian Bale can do?
the subtleties.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, with all these other actors, like even with Leo, like there's Leo-isms and Leto-isms and Brad Pitt-isms that you can see in all their characters. But like Christian Bale, like every character feels
But then there's
like,
an argument
Yeah,
to be
but-
made that like a character actor fucking trumps all that. A
Method
motherfucker
actor,
that
yeah.
literally, not method, like straight, like Gary Oldman just disappears into any fucking role.
Yes.
Even
Honestly, Gary Oldman, very
Sam
underrated.
Rockwell, who I think is great in a lot of things, but also
Sam
like
Rockwell.
is a solid. He's like, this is fucked up to say, but he's like one of those solid like secondary characters.
Daniel
You never think about him.
Day-Lewis.
You never notice him. You're just like, damn, homie's like fucking holding it down. Even Paul Dano does like kind of the same thing. I think
Paul Dano,
trying to
yes.
judge like what a good actor is. It's the thing is like when you see, I don't know, when you need to watch a whole movie and be like, holy fuck, I didn't even realize that was Gary Oldman the whole time. He was just kind of. He's a chameleon. Like, he just a fucking appeared. I don't know. I think that hits a little harder than, like...
Paul, you named off some really good names there. Sam Rockwell, the first movie I ever saw him in was Moon.
Moon is... You know that's directed by David Bowie's son?
I fucking cried, bro. Like, when the twist happens and he finds out, dude, I was like, oh my God. Like, that was a sad movie, man. It was so cool. That was one of the best movies I've seen. Paul Dano, Daniel Day-Lewis. Like, have you guys seen There Will Be Blood?
Yeah.
Bro.
Oh, and to follow up on Moon, too, it's Sam Rockwell the entire time.
Yes.
It's one actor
Yes.
ripping the whole entire... I don't know. I'm not saying... I don't even know how to get into this because I don't know how I'm going to rate what a good actor is.
I don't think you can. I don't think that there's definitively...
Yeah. I think there's actors you like to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. And like, yeah, Tom Cruise jumping out of fucking space is going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. It's going to be a spectacle. But you know...
Why though?
Fucking...
Because he can.
It's
hard.
I feel like everything Tom Cruise does, he's like, how do I top Fast and the Furious?
He's gonna
like,
explode
everything
himself for his last movie. He's just gonna suicide bomb his ass.
But you know, I will give Tom Cruise this: while he's doing those stunts, he still needs to be acting. So like that.
That's what I was saying.
There is something to be said about
Yeah.
that. But
Not really. He just has to survive. Like he's jumping. He's doing a strategy.
No, but he has to keep calm. Like,
It's
bro,
happening
if I
from
put you
one
outside
other
the airplane,
person.
you're not gonna be calm.
Yeah,
Just
but
like,
if
oh.
you jumped out of 10 airplanes, you probably don't give a
Bro,
fuck
I'm about to
anymore.
say, I've seen people hang off of airplanes, like going skydiving. Dude just hangs outside the airplane, and that's just what he does. He's like, I'm filming. Of course, this is my thing. So Tom will be fine. There's training for it. Jumping from space, there's gonna be some training for it. He just has to be himself. He's not gonna look any different. There's not gonna be any acting involved. This man will be surviving a stratospheric jump.
Well, we've pushed close to the end, and so I want Pat to do two things for me. One, Pat, tell me about your take on American Psycho that you just watched recently, and then two, after that, I want your Pat ponders because I want to finish off on that.
All right, so I recently watched American Psycho because Shelby.
Hold on, real quick. Have you seen it, Spidey?
What?
American Psycho?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I recently watched American Psycho because Shelby recommended me to watch it because since break I've been like on a serial killer kick on Netflix and watching documentaries and mainly just watching serial killer documentaries based in other countries like in India because like serial killers for me my history of serial killers, like I've always known serial killers in the United States and the Jack the Ripper in the UK, but like I've never heard about serial killers in other countries, so that was like interesting for me. So I was on that kick, and then Shelby told me to watch American Psycho, and I watched American Psycho, and these were my thoughts. It's a great fucking movie. Christian Bale's good. I just didn't understand why the Green Goblin was there. What the fuck was his point? He didn't bring anything to that role. He didn't bring anything. He didn't bring anything to the movie. All right, and then
He's the main antagonist, though.
How did he antagonize? He didn't antagonize anything. And then secondly, like this whole movie was based about like being a serial killer, and this Christian Bale's character was like. What you say? He was infatuated with serial killers. Like he was like, dishing out facts about serial killers with his buddies and stuff like that. And like, in the end, he didn't kill anybody. So what the fuck? I didn't get the movie. It's like,
what did you understand about the subtext of it? What,
all right, because of all those things,
reading between the lines.
Yeah, because of all those things, what do you think the movie was trying to tell you? What do you think? The movie
don't know.
I mean, guess. I want you to guess. I want you to guess.
I'm thinking this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like this is my guess, is like since he likes serial killers so much and he thinks about serial killing so much, he just thought about the killings and never actually killed anybody and just went along with his life. And then I guess the fantasy of killing made it too real for him, so he actually thought he killed somebody. But like I'm not a serial killer, but I had thoughts of like killing, like I like, you know, like just like accidentally shooting somebody. Like I had dreams about like I'm not gonna go kill somebody. Yeah. Like so like
I'm not a serial killer, but
it was the butt part for me. I feel like you're gonna kill somebody by 50.
Everybody has like those intrusive thoughts, and
Yeah.
I think and there is like research on like psychopathy doesn't always mean that you're gonna turn out to be like something evil. Like there are functional psychopaths out there,
and they become CEOs.
Yeah. So that's kind of, exactly. His job was like a high corporate financial Wall Street type shit. I haven't seen the movie in a long time, so I would have to rewatch it to get a different interpretation of it. But I think when I first watched it, it was that like it's just those like intrusive thoughts that like, you know.
Yeah. I honestly, two things. One, I would love this to just be an ongoing segment. I want to think about movies that I know we wouldn't react to that we could just watch in the interim and have Pat's opinion on it.
That'd be tight.
Because I do think that like building media literacy through shit like this, I'm like,
so are you calling me stupid? Because like that's, you said building media literacy. You told me I don't have media literacy then.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying building it, as in you have it, we all have it, and we can make it stronger by watching movies and then coming away talking about our opinions on it. This is a whole entire class in film school. It's a class that I never took, where you watch movies and you try to interpret what you think the message of the movie is, right?
But shouldn't that movie have the same message? Like everyone, like a lesson. Like if it like we watch TV shows and stuff to get lessons, so then it should have the same lesson so everyone understands that lesson.
If you look at the same painting, if you look at the same
opinion,
painting I look at, do you take away the same meaning? If we listen to the same song, do you take away the same meaning? If you read the same book as me, could we both take away different meanings
but you
from
should,
the same
because
book?
the plot is the same plot. Books and movies have the same plot.
You better-
Art is abstract. There's
Oh,
it
yeah,
could go
a
in
book
directions.
is art.
If a piece of media is so linear that you can only gain one thing from it, in my opinion, that's a bad piece of media.
Yeah.
I feel that.
If it's not thought provoking, if it's so straightforward that you can't interpret anything.
But that's what books are and textbooks are.
Textbooks. I'm talking about if you read a novel. If you read Moby Dick and I read Moby Dick, we can come away with two different things.
Dick.
You know what I mean? In fact, think about every single person that's ever read any religious text and think about the 100 different religions based off of one fucking book.
Yeah, you're right.
So like a movie's the same way, and us talking about it helps, one, all of us to understand how to perceive media better, and two, we might come up with new ideas.
And it helps you communicate with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess for me I was like, because I watched, like when I was a kid I watched a lot of sitcoms, and like in sitcoms you learn things, and like so I figured like everyone's learning the same things you're learning, you know?
Yeah, because that's more like it's straightforward. It's like this episode's about stealing and stealing's bad, but it's like, is it memorable? Is that memorable?
Oh, but then also like if you, all right, perfect example. So let's say this episode is about stealing and stealing's bad, right? Then I could watch it and be like, oh, this episode's teaching us that sometimes the system is so fucked up that it's okay to steal bread. You know what I mean? Or it's okay to steal this. Or like, oh, what prompted this kid to think that stealing's okay? Then you can get into the socioeconomic things about the fucking family on the show. And because it's a sitcom and they cut out a lot of stuff, there's a lot of extra funny things to perceive there. Like, if we're talking about The Simpsons, like, oh, what does this episode of The Simpsons mean? Well, Bart has an iPhone now, but we know that Bart was fucking 10 in the 80s and he never grew up. Like, there's a lot of different things you could talk about. Like, oh, does that actually mean that? Or is it just people making a fucking cartoon? And like all of those things can lead into deeper conversations that can be pretty interesting and pretty funny, and for these motherfuckers watching, pretty entertaining. So I'll try to think of a movie for next week if everybody thinks they can watch one movie.
Yeah.
And
We should definitely do Pluto Nash.
How about we watch
Pluto
Moon? Can we watch
Nash.
Moon?
It sounds like what if we do one good movie and one ridiculous movie?
One ridiculously bad movie?
Yeah,
Pluto Nash.
I am so down to fucking watch Pluto
Is that
Nash
the
to talk
Eddie
about
Murphy
it.
movie?
Yeah.
That's not that bad.
Oh my God, it is.
So
I've never heard of it.
Oh, I want to talk about
hold on. Before we finish, everybody, you're going to want to follow the Normies over on Instagram and stay tuned. If we're going to be doing this movie thing, by Monday we'll know, and I'll tell you guys what the movie is so you guys can watch it along. We'll call this segment Pat's Movie Club. Hey. Also, if you guys got any movie suggestions, drop them in the comments. Hit us up on Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram. Do whatever you want. Just let us know. Feed them to us. Things that you think Pat would watch and have an interesting take from.
Let's watch a Serbian film.
Oh my god!
No,
Pat's got one more thing he
couldn't
wants
pay
to
me
say.
watch
Actually,
it.
Pat, I'm sorry. We're at the end. You're gonna have
we
to
are
hold
at
your
the
Pat
end.
ponders
We'll
for next
wait
time.
for next time around.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been a great podcast. Why don't you guys
we're raiding.
stick around for the raid? We're gonna go check out. Oh,
Along
is this
with-
Noel?
Yep, no
Hey, what up, Noel?
Hey.
Tell them the
Along
Normies
with
send the
our-
regards.
Hey, jam out.
Hey, along with our Normie socials, follow all our socials.
Yeah.
Follow me on Instagram, TikTok. Follow all of us on Instagram. TikTok.
Yeah, Mickey out there doing the TikToks, but watch him. He out there doing work.
Hey, looks like we got a new direction for the podcast moving forward this year. As part of my
Actually, you know what? I had an idea over break.